teachers. Today we are on site at MLK showcasing one of our amazing kindergarten teachers, Miss Dixon. She is going to walk us through some classroom management strategies that she uses with her little kindergartners. So Miss Dixon, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, hi, my name is Dixon. I've been here in Christian County for 7 years, I believe. Transplant from military. I've been all over the place.
So we like to start all of our episodes off with an important relationship. Now, you have a picture of of people you want to share with us?
Yes, these are my important relationship. They are my children, my 3 girls. They are not this young anymore. I wish, because those were better days. I have Agnes, Anna, and Abigail. Agnes is in college, Abigail is in 10th grade, and Anna is in 7th grade. And they're my heart. And I do what I do because of them.
The focus of this episode is classroom management. Sharing some strategies that you could use in your classroom. So today, like I said, we're in a kindergarten classroom. So obviously things look a little different from what you might see in your upper elementary, middle, or high school. Why is classroom management so important? I mean, we're now in September, but you're still working on and tweaking those procedures. And why is that so important?
Classroom management is important because if I want them to learn something, I have to have control or manage of my classroom. And that's why it's so important at the beginning of the year to be very consistent in what I am doing in the classroom. So when I come into the classroom, I am explicitly teaching everything that I want to happen in my room at the beginning of the year. So when you come back into my classroom in May, my room runs by itself. I don't even have to be here. My kids know exactly what they do when they walk into the classroom, to eating breakfast, to sitting on the carpet, to rotating through those transitions. I like to tell a lot of teachers that if they're not doing what you expect them to do, then that means you need to slow it down. Stop and start over and teach those procedures and routines exactly how you want it to run in your classroom, and it will make the world of a difference when you're trying to teach those academic standards that we have to do.
Absolutely. And I have been in your room in the spring semester, and it runs so smoothly. The students know exactly where to go, what to do, what every little bell or ding or saying that you have your chants and stuff, and they know exactly what to do. So taking those kindergartners who aren't used to a school structure, and that transformation is really impressive.
It is, and it makes a difference, and they get used to those routines.
Yes.
To the point where if something changes, you need to let them know ahead of time, because they expect things to run a certain way, and it really works for me.
Absolutely. Well, walk us through a little bit of what we're going to see today.
Well, we're going to look at transitioning. After we do a lot of center rotations in our classroom. We do whole group, and then we go into small group. So you're going to see a transition from moving from one center to a different center. I usually use some type of attention signal. It all depends on the day. I like to use my doorbell, where I ring the doorbell and it makes a noise, and the kids know when they hear that noise that they will freeze. They freeze and they look at me. Then I give them their instruction of where they need to go. That I have in my classroom position strips on the floor so they know exactly where to stand to get ready for that next rotation. So that's what you're going to see, them standing up, getting ready to move to that next rotation.
Why do you focus so much on the transition piece? It's not enough just to have the control at the center, but that whole transition piece.
Because you have so much time to teach your lesson, and so if you do not have that transition smooth, then you're spending a lot of time correcting, and you don't want to do that. You want to be able to get up, move, and get to your next rotation so that instruction can continue and learning can continue with those students.
Absolutely.
So
every minute counts.
Every minute counts.
Every minute counts.
And you want to try to do it quickly. But also, if it's not working, slow it down and reteach that procedure.
Absolutely. Well, thank you. We'll be back right after this break where we see her students in action. Stay Put adult underwear. Some days there's just no such thing as a bathroom break. That's when Stay Put comes in handy. absorbent, odor control, leak proof. Stay put for those days when you can't leave your classroom.
Ms. Raekwon, go to the Lions table. Please sit down and put your hand in your lap. Blakely, Jamira, Damian, and Margaret, please go to the elephant table. Please begin working. Blakely, you can do the cards. Yes, thank you. I would like for you to clean up your area and stand behind your chair. Very good. I would like for you to walk to your rotation line. Arlene. Point to your next rotation. Please walk to your next rotation.
Welcome back to The Teaching View. Today we are on site at Christian County Middle School with Miss Maierhofer, a second-year teacher here with Christian County Public Schools. Miss Maierhofer, tell us about yourself.
Yes, I started here at Christian County Middle School last year, so this is my second year. I teach agri-science to the 7th and 8th grade students, and I'm the FFA advisor as well.
Awesome. And so just because agri-science, I'm just curious, what is this?
So this is our hydroponic tower. We got this about 2 weeks ago. We're growing a variety of plants here, and they're all grown with a water-based solution. I've got some grow lights coming in here soon, so we'll be able to grow throughout the whole year.
I love that. The Teaching View is all about building relationships, and we want to start each segment with an important relationship to the teacher. So you have a photo that you'd like to share?
Yes, I do. This relationship is one that's very important to me. This is a new puppy that I got this summer. His name is Tugboat, and Tugboat is a Newfoundland. He's going to be 5 months this month, 5 months old this month, and Tugboat is going to be a certified therapy dog. So he'll be able to go around with my FFA chapter to different events, different places. When we visit nursing homes, when we visit hospitals, he'll be able to work with my vet science classes and things like that. So he's a good relationship for my family as well as my class as well.
I love that. So a big piece of this is talking about building relationships with students and classroom management. How do you make that connection with your students, with relationships to classroom management and those procedures? What do you do in your class?
Yes, relationships are a huge part of my classroom. I prioritize relationships over almost anything else in my classroom. So the first almost 2 weeks of school I spend just getting to know my students and letting my students get to know each other. Here at County Middle, we have a variety of students coming together from different schools. So it's very important for me and for my students to have that time, that growth time to get to know each other and for me to get to know them. So we have different activities that I do at the beginning of the semester where we're just kind of hanging out and getting to know each other for a little bit. And then I continue that throughout the semester as well. I have times where we check in with each other. We have daily check-ins where I go around and I'll see how they're doing every day with life, with other classes, and with each other within the school and things like that.
And I love that you mentioned that you take time for them to get to know each other too, because like you said, they're coming from different schools, they don't know each other, and some of their friends that they came here with maybe in other classes, and so to take that time and be intentional about that, not just the first 2 weeks of school, but throughout the year is really important.
Right.
So I appreciate you doing that and letting them not just get to know you, but the rest of the class as well. So in regards to classroom management, what are some things that you do specifically in your classroom to establish procedures, establish routines, and that sort of thing? What are some things that you do?
So at the very beginning of the semester, I let my students know exactly what I expect from them, and I will put that structured procedure on the board for them to see. I also give them a printout of what I expect them every day. It's broken down, so the bell ringer when they first walk in the door, to what they're going to be doing, to what I will be doing and what's expected of me, and then what we will be doing as a whole class. So it's very structured, very broken down, and it is a routine that we see almost every single day. Now, there are events and things that
Sure.
pop up where it changes from time to time, but I always tell my students in advance when things are going to change. I like to know what's going to happen and change, so I know they like to know and expect that change. But that's one thing I like to do is structure my class and make sure that my students know exactly what to expect and what I expect from them and what they can expect from me when they walk through my door.
That's awesome. And so anytime those things change, we get that. That happens. But do you find that being that consistent with students, do you see that having an effect on your students in the long run?
Yes,
throughout the year?
I do. If I forget something or if I skip over a part of my class, they are on top of me. They make sure to
Calling you
let
out.
me know, yes. And I see that structure helps them. It calms them down. We don't have students running around, or I don't have students running around the classroom. They know they're expected to sit in their seat during certain times. So I think that structure really does help in my classroom.
Awesome. Well, I love it. So tell us, what will we see in your classroom today?
So today is one of those special days, and we have been preparing for it. Today we're doing a CDE competition. It's a career development event, which is part of our
Cool.
FFA curriculum. So our students are going to travel around to 7 different stations throughout the room, and they are going to test their knowledge and skills about agriculture. So they are going to be competing with each other and with my other classes, as well as some teachers that have come in throughout the day.
I love that.
We'll be looking at horticulture, food science, plant science,
Nice.
animal science, all of the above.
Awesome. And so when they come in, and will that be something you start immediately?
No, immediately we are going to get into our bell ringer. We're going to keep that same routine, and then we will go into directions like we normally do, and then we'll break out into our groups.
So how do you signal them to move from group to group? Is that pretty fluid and free-flowing, or do you have an attention signal or a bell or something that you're going to use?
Yes, so I use a timer.
Okay.
They're going to have 2 minutes per group, and they'll hear that timer go off. They'll see the countdown on the board, and I will let them know as soon as they hear that timer that they need to rotate. They'll be aware of what group number they go to next, and they'll make that rotation.
Perfect. All right. So what will be your role as the teacher?
As a teacher today, my role is to walk around the classroom to make sure that they're at the right station, and to make sure that they're staying on task. So that they're not running around and chatting about things other than what they're supposed to be working on.
Perfect. All right. Well, right after this, we're going to take a sneak peek into Miss Maierhofer's classroom. We'll be back after this break.
The Magic Praise Pencil. Ever had one of those days when you just can't think of one more word of encouragement to write on your students' papers? You need the Magic Praise Pencil. Just tap the eraser 2 times on the desk and words of praise and encouragement will flow out from the pencil. The Magic Praise Pencil. Buy it today. Disclaimer. Some customers have reported that if you accidentally tap 3 times, the pencil will write nothing, but please have your parents call me.
All right, that was 5 minutes. So everybody's desk needs to be completely cleared off. Only thing I want to see on there is a pencil. We are going to look over our bell ringer, and today we are going to do that game. So, I've got 4 things on my desk. I've got mini muffins, they are blueberries. I've got a little pile of candy. I've got a cosmic brownie, and then I've got stickers. I'm going to randomly draw one person off of my board to answer the question. If that person doesn't get the question right, we'll move on to the next person. If the person does get the question right, they get to choose an item off my desk. The next person can either choose an item off my desk or do what? Steal, right. The item can only be stolen one time though. And what can we not do while we're waiting for a person to answer?
Blur it out. Say the answer.
Eat it, very good, or say the answer. Excellent. So remember, we can't blurt out the answer and we can't open up and eat our items before the end of the game. Any questions? All right, we're going over our bell ringer. First question, 2 parts of the FFA emblem. My answer is going to be Sierra. 2 parts of the FFA emblem.
The owl and the plow.
Very good, the owl and the plow. You can choose off the desk. Austin. tomorrow we are going to go over ag safety. So this is our last day with FFA. We're going to start ag safety tomorrow. Then on Thursday we have a lab. And on Friday we're going to have our ag safety day. Questions about this week? No. Okay. So we are going to practice our ag skills and participate in a CDE event today. CDE stands for what? Career Development Event. I'm going to turn these lights on just so I can see you and you can see me. Around the room there are going to be 7 stations, 7 mini CDE events, 7 mini competitions. You are all going to have an answer sheet. And on this answer sheet, you're going to put your name and you're going to write the answers to each question. What you're going to be doing today is identifying different tools, identifying different plants, animals, and smells. Some of these you might not know. Some of these you may not have ever seen before, and that's okay. I just want to see how well you try, how hard you try, and you can work together a little bit on this as well. Okay? So I'm going to have Preston pass one of these out to everybody for me, and I'm going to start helping set up some of these stations. Okay? So Preston, handouts to go away. Put these in order, please. One word bank at one end, one word bank at the other. Today, we are going to travel around the room from different stations, and we are going to do our best to identify the things that I have set out. I have a tool station, I have an agronomy station, I have a food science station, I have a vet science station, an animal science station, horticulture station, and an ag mechanic station. You're going to use your word bank and put the word that matches the picture or the tool or the food or the plant on the line. You can work with the people in your group, but this is a competition. So if you have the same exact score, then there's going to have to be a tiebreaker. Yes. All right, my ones. If you are a 1, please stand up and walk back to the plants. If you're a 2, please stand up and walk up here to my tools. If you're a 3, please stand up and walk right here to my agronomy. If you're a 3, or 4, I'm sorry, please stand up if you're a 4 and walk over here to food science. 5, stand up and walk over to vet science. 6, you're going to go to animal science. And 7, ag mechanics.
The Teaching View. We are on site this month at different schools around our district, highlighting and showcasing our amazing teachers at CCPS. Today, we are at Hopkinsville High School with Mr. Shearon. Mr. Shearon, tell us about yourself.
So this is my first year teaching. I'm teaching World History and AP World History. Today we're going to be in my AP World History class. It's an exciting journey. I've wanted to teach for as long as I could remember. One of the things that I wanted to do in high school was to teach. I had dyslexia and a few other things, and had struggles reading when I was younger, and terrible stage fright and different things, and so many people talked me out of it, and so I'm late to it, but I'm finally doing what I wanted to do, so I'm excited to be here. I love it so far.
Well, that's awesome. We're so glad you are here on our team. Well, we start every episode with our guest with a picture of an important relationship. We focus really heavily on relationships because we want to have good relationships with other teachers and with our students. And so we have a picture here. Tell us about this sweet family of yours.
Yeah, absolutely. So this is my wife, Natalie. Natalie is, at this time, we had just found out that she was pregnant. And so now we're about a month out from having our precious little girl. Her name is going to be Millie Grace. And so we're super excited about that. And we have Hazel and Silas. And so this is, at the beginning of the year, we gave our reason why. They're my reason why. What I do, why I do what I do. Why I go home at night, why I work hard. And Natalie and I have been married, this coming year will be 10 years. And Hazel is 7 and Silas is turning 2 next week. And so they're my everything. And so relationships are super important to me in general, from my church relationships to my family relationships to even the relationships I've already made here at school. One of, in the social studies department, we're really close, and I think that's really cool. Lehman is also teaching world history, and we're trying to stay close together and work through that, and so that's been a good relationship that's been started, and I look forward to continuing the year and working alongside her and many others. Mr. Riley as well. It's been a big help.
Well, thank you so much. Your family is beautiful. Congratulations
Thank
on
you
the
so
newest
much.
edition. That's exciting. And you're right. Relationships are kind of the foundation for everything we do from here on out, And so we have to remember that when we're working with students, when we're working with our colleagues, and building on those. In this episode, we are focusing on classroom management and structures within the classroom. And you have been shouted out many times for your classroom management. So tell us, why is it so important to establish that effective classroom management early on, and how do you do that?
Yeah, absolutely. So one of the cliches is a student cannot learn if they do not know that you care. They don't care about what you know or what you can teach them if they don't know that you care. But they also can't know that you care if there's disorder and chaos. And so one of the things that I try to do, sometimes it's hard, is to make sure that each lesson, whether it be a lecture or an activity, for example, we're doing an experiment in world history right now, and a science experiment, and they're like, why are we doing this? Well, I'm trying to help them to see that everything that they do is impacted by everything else. And so, for example, history is important, but it also connects with science. And so that's what we're doing. I try to make it engaging and fun. That way, the behavior takes care of itself.
Right.
But of course, expectations are first, and so you go over expectations. And I'm very gracious, and so a lot of times, I'll just pull a student aside if I'm having trouble and say, look, this is what could happen, but instead of that happening, why don't we try to do better? Why don't we try to pay attention? What can I do to help you out? And so like we talked about just a minute ago, those relationships help the behaviors a lot. And I've seen an increase in activity and just better behavior because of those relationships that we've built.
That's awesome. I'm so glad you said that, pointed that out. And pulling them aside doesn't take extra time, but it also saves embarrassment. It also helps the student and build that trust between you two. So I love that you pointed that out. All right. So tell us, what will we see in your classroom today?
Yeah, absolutely. So we're going to have the kids come in. They're going to get started on their bell ringer.
Mm-hmm.
Usually the bell ringer only takes about 5 minutes. Today it's a little bit longer. So last week we started talking about writing prompts,
Okay.
because this is my AP class. And so they've got to do a lot of writing. And so one one thing we're going to do is take what we learned last week and apply it through the bell ringer today.
Okay.
And so they're gonna read a document. It's 14 pages, but most of the pages are pictures and graphs and charts and stuff. So it should only take about 10 minutes, and then they're gonna write a 500-word essay after that. That'll take probably about 5 or 10 minutes as well. So it'll be about a 20-minute bell ringer, and then that's going to lead, it's over the Silk Road. So the Silk Road is a trading route in Asia that connects really Asia and Europe and kind of down into Africa as well. And so we're going to talk about that. That's what the bell ringer's over. Then we're going to do a lecture on it. And we've started the lecture last class period, but we're going to continue this period. Then we're going to do a booklet that is going to quiz them on their knowledge, as well as, be interactive and have the fun element of the game, so that they can go over that information in multiple different ways.
Awesome. And I like that you're filling that whole 90 minutes and switching it up so that they have different structures. It keeps their attention, it keeps them engaged, and having a variety of styles in there as well.
That makes sense.
So as students are coming into your classroom, how do they know when to start the bell ringer and what the expectation is coming in?
Yeah, absolutely. So my bell ringer is always on the board, and so that was an expectation that I started from the beginning, is that every day there's going to be a bell ringer, and every day there has been, and as long as I'm here, there will be a bell ringer, and so they know that it's going to be there, and they know it's expected, and sometimes they're graded, sometimes they're not, but I don't tell them when they're going to be graded. That way they think it could be at any time, and so that's how they know. It's come in, start your bell ringer.
I love that. And it's the same consistency every day, so they know exactly what to do when they enter your room. Good?
Yep.
All right. So right after this break, we will pop into Mr. Shearon's room and take a look at his class and how they are doing with their entering the classroom. No, I don't like that. So right after this break, we're going to be in Mr. Shearon's room with his students, getting a glimpse of what a day in his class looks like. We'll be back. The no button. Have trouble saying no, ni, nai, non, nine, tidak, duda, mana, cha. It doesn't matter what language you're speaking. No is hard to say, but not anymore. Not with our no button, made just for teachers. Record your own voice and apply one of our accent filters or celebrity voices. Tap the button and learn to say no, ni, nai, non, nine, tidak, duda, mana, cha, today.
First, it's on Canvas on week 6. So go ahead and pull your computer out and get started. So it should look like, click on that. So there should be a text box for you can push start assignment and just fill it out over the text box. If you want to do it in Google Doc and then just copy and paste, that's fine. This is what the document is going to look like. And I know it's long, but there's a lot of pictures and graphs and stuff, so it's not really that much reading. Kind of.
Simply exhausting, the lemonade energy drink for teachers. Morning or afternoon sluggishness is common, especially as an educator. Naturally flavored with only the best lemons in Kentucky, the Simply Exhausting energy drink for teachers is sure to perk you up and help you get through that PLC meeting or rough class in the afternoon. Comes in 12 or 20 ounce bottles in your local vending machine.
Thank you for watching episode 3 of The Teaching View. This month's giveaway is a 3-drawer plastic cart full of school supplies. We have so much we can't even fit them all in the cart for you. We have pencils, we have binders, we have copy paper, crayons, notebook paper, all the things that you could possibly need for your classroom. To enter for this giveaway, you can comment on this video or submit a question for The Teaching View by scanning the QR code on your magnet or at the bottom of our newsletter. Thank you for watching. Have a great day.